Greetings. More on Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds. Greetings. More on Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and the Hall of Fame. We were all complicit. I'll start with the story of my family. Philip was born in 1987. He was 6 years old when the 1993 season came, the first year Barry Bonds was with the Giants. It was magical. They were a sad sack team in the early 2000s. They were a sad sack team in the early 90s. And then Bonds came in 93. They won 103 ball games and missed the playoffs by one game. Giants had a great team besides Bonds. They had Will Clark and Matt Williams and some other guys. But Bonds was a story. Great things were expected, except in 1994, there was a horrible baseball strike. Much of the 94 season was lost. There was no World Series, and a good chunk of the 95 season was lost. But they went back to work. They played the World Series, but the feel-good story of the year that year was Cal Ripken breaking Lou Gehrig's consecutive game record. And Phil and I were watching it day in and day out. We were glued to the television. Phil and I watched baseball as much as we could, and he became as addicted as me. After Ripken broke the record, the home runs really got going. Mark McGwire got traded from the A's to St. Louis. He was hitting home runs there, and then we all know about 1998 when he and Sammy Sosa had the year for the ages. Books were written, people were watching, the stadiums were filling up, the eyeballs were on the TV. And not only were the owners and the management looking the other way, the fans were looking the other way. We were complicit. McGwire, the skinny kid from the late 80s, was called Paul Bunyan because he got so big. But the spirit of McGwire and Sammy Sosa, the fun they were having chasing the record, seemed to make it all okay. We didn't want to know about steroids. Then Bonds got bigger. Bonds finished the 1998 season. He was a skinny guy. He came back in 1999 and he looked like a linebacker. He put on a whole bunch of weight and he was ready to rock and roll. And in 2001, he hit the 73 home runs. There were accusations about steroids, but we didn't want to know. Chances are, if you went to a Giant game, you were going to see Bonds hit one into the bay. And we liked that. So now we're at 2021, and we're not putting Bonds in the Hall of Fame, and we're not putting Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame. Bonds has the most home runs. Clemens has the most strikeouts. They need to be in the Hall of Fame. Like I said last night, it's not the hall of who you want to have over for dinner. It's not the hall of who you want raising your kids, even though they did play a role as I was raising my kid. It's the Hall of Fame. It's the baseball museum. And what happened in baseball needs to be duly noted. And Bonds and Clemens played a big role in what happened in baseball. Put them in the Hall of Fame, document it, and move on. So what do you think? Please like and share, comment, and subscribe so this conversation will go far and wide, and we'll find that shining needle of common ground in that haystack of fear.